Well, I'll show you downstairs, upstairs, and everything like that. But basically, in essence, this is AVAC, which is the automatic vacuum assisted collection, which in essence, all the garbage throughout the buildings, you have an east side and the west side, all the garbage in essence that throughout the island comes back here and then gets shipped out. Sanitation will take it to, which I'm not really sure where these go. I think Review Avenue in Brooklyn. But more importantly, I'll show you how it operates, what it entails, and then any questions, obviously, like the last one. If any questions that you like. Oh! Yes. Yeah. These are the exhausted turbines. So in essence, this is pretty much the most critical, the heart of the operation. Without these exhausted turbines, you're not creating, basically what these do is create a vacuum, a suction, what we call it, a vacuum, whichever one you want to call it. So in essence, with these operating, you are creating a vacuum, you are pulling back all refuse, all garbage that goes through every building. It's important to have these things. Obviously, if they're not running, you're not pulling anything back. So this is basically a big vacuum clean, if you want it in layman's terms, to make it simplistic. So it's creating a suction. There's 4 of them. We used to have 6. They were bigger. They actually had more RPMs and things of that nature. But these are more energy efficient with them. They're very good. I don't think they were as good as the old ones, but that's neither here nor there. There's 4 of them. So what happens is we run 3 of them at a time. Sometimes you need 4. You'll only use 4 if there's a problem where you have a blockage or what we call a jam. So you have debris that can't get from the pipe, that'll be stuck into the pipe and won't go into the compact, into the unit. So we have problems. If we have problems, then we use 4 exhausters to create more of a vacuum. You have an inlet and outlet, but the most important stuff is upstairs. And then we have a plenum chamber, so all the exhaust, basically like a stack. If you look at it as a boiler, you'll have, but over here there's no gases or anything like that, it's just air. So the air, those plenum chambers, I'll show you, they work as a stack. I look at things in boiler terms because that's what we have a license operate, so I relate it to like that. Any questions regarding the turbines?
Do they run on a schedule or is it kind of like on demand from building?
It's a good question. No, we run it actually 2 times a shift. There's 2 shifts here, a 6 to 2 and a 2 to 10. So we run 0700 and 1100 in the daytime, 7 in the morning, 12. You know, it's not exact science, but 2 times in the morning, 2 times in the afternoon. There are sensors that they since put in, so it shows you the level that's down in the valve room, what we call the valve room, which is the different valve rooms, different buildings. So we'll have, let's say, I don't know if anybody lives on the island. Anybody? Yeah. So you know Manhattan Park, let's say? Manhattan Park, 40 River Road is the first valve. We have 1 valve there. And in each building over in Manhattan Park, 2030, 2010 River Road, there's So a river cross is 4 valves actually in river cross. But anyway, so you have, got it. Here I go. That boring, huh? So each valve will have their own valve room. So in essence, that's where all the garbage that gets accumulated. Which valve do you live? Where do you live?
Island House 555.
Okay. So Island House. So you open up your chute. So now all your garbage goes. So how many floors are in that house? 19 floors. Okay. So every floor has an access to throw the garbage out. So what happens is all the garbage goes down, and now it stays on what we call a valve plate, which is the valve room. So what happens is when we go to pull the valve, when I go up there, I'll show you how we operate it. In essence, all the garbage gets pulled up, 19th floor, everybody throws their garbage down. We operate it, we open up the valve, all the garbage gets sucked. That's where all this comes into play. These have to be operated, create a vacuum, get the garbage from where you're throwing it down in river cross, so your garbage eventually comes back in here. Not here. I will show you, open up the door, the chamber door. So we're going through the chamber. It's a vacuum sealed where it's 45 cubic yard. That's where all the garbage accumulates. Every 4 days we will change a container. They used to go over pressure, so we knew when to change it. We use every 4 days, which will get you about 10 tons. So if you think about it, in essence, it's about 20. Not an exact science. We will have more garbage. We have more tonnage, like in Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Day, everybody celebrates for the most part. It's not religious holiday, so everybody celebrates pretty much. So you will have a lot of volume of garbage. So we'll have actually more tonnage. So, can get you 10, 11. So a lot of garbage in each side, each section. So you figure about 2,500 tons, probably a day. Yeah, 25, 3,000. A lot of garbage.
How long have you been running?
Excuse me?
How long has it been running? How long?
This system, I believe, was, I believe 1972, I believe they, with the 72 or 73, the island.
No. The vacuum system. How old is it?
This system is only a couple of years old. The system in general that they've been running is probably about 50 years. But these are new exhausters. Actually, these are right about 2 years old. It was Thanksgiving time 2 years ago. These are brand new. We had 6 old different style of exhausters. What happened was they put these in. Economically, they're good for the on startup. The amperage that we would draw in the old system, it's a lot more. It's energy efficient and things of that nature. I personally do not believe that these are better exhausters than the old. I know that.
I'm confused, and sorry, I'm with Open House New York, and I talked to the guy, Alex Zavlaki, who I think was on the tour. No, he couldn't make it the tour earlier, and he said this is a totally new system for NYCHA. There's only one other AVAC, whatever it's called. Sorry, I don't remember the acronym. In Disney, and that NYCHA is now piloting this, and there's a demo on Roosevelt Island. So now I'm getting confused.
Okay, yes, that's right.
So, because you're just saying this is here for 50 years, so can you?
This system was here for 50 years. In the United States of America, they had one in Disney, like you just said.
Yeah.
I believe they have one in Denver International Airport. They used to have a system similar to this.
Yeah.
We
But
do-
Roosevelt Island was developed with this system. Then.
Correct.
Got it.
This, AVAC is a company that's in Spain. We deal with the company that goes, the people that install this and the ones that go into the pipe and stuff like that. AVAC Spain. They have a lot of these in Europe,
Yeah.
in Asia. I was in Japan. I never see anything like that in the Navy. But listen, they suppose they have it there and a lot of different places. Some of them are even more advanced, where they have, and I'll explain that to you later, where you can. Instead of what we do, we put the placement of glass containers and the cardboard and the bulk and all those containers out there that are supposed to be separated. They have things, I think in Sweden, where they actually have the system running. You can actually diffuse the garbage going this way with plastic and stuff like that. Good luck trying to do that.
But so the point is, it's been here for.
This has been here.
Yeah.
This is not new, but you're right. NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority, they are going to, well, they were talking about it, but the gentleman that was here in the earlier tour said that they were going to install one, or are going to install one in the polo grounds.
Yeah. Polo
So the lifespan of these machines are said 50 years?
I do not know. I cannot tell you. It's
Or the recommended, the purported?
the purported, yes. I mean, the old ones were fine. We had 6 opposed to 4. The DFMs and everything, I don't want to get technical.
Yeah.
To me, they were better machinery than this. These are, to me, they efficient as far as startup and things like that, monetarily, yes. You know, and it has nothing to do with green or anything. If you want your book, we had 6 exhausts that were American made, that were better than this. They were better than this, that's all. I'm just leaving it at that. Yeah, but they all do the same thing, you know.
Do the new buildings connect to there?
The new buildings will eventually connect.
Like, what about the Cornell campus?
No, I don't know what they do exactly, allow that debris. I'm not really sure. Each building separately, but most of the buildings on the island come back through here.
Does this mean there's no garbage collection on Roosevelt Island at all?
There shouldn't be any garbage. The only time you'll see a garbage collection on Roosevelt Island if there was a problem in various buildings that we can have, like there was a blockage, let's say in the transport pipe, and in certain buildings at certain times, or if we were down, then you could request they would be. No, that's the beauty of it. You know, you live here, I don't care if you live anywhere on this, I don't care what you're paying, that's irrelevant. It's nice to not see an eyesore, right? With garbage. I'm getting paid no matter what. I work in the city of New York, no skin on, but I think it's a nice system, it's efficient and things like that, and when it works, it's better than having an eyesore. Where do you live? River Cross, you like to see a bunch of garbage in your pile of, it's nice, right? You throw it down there?
And where does the garbage go?
Good question. I do not know where the garbage from here, we have different places for everywhere in Brooklyn. I'm not sure the garbage, the refuse that comes back from the buildings and when it gets taken out from AFF, the sanitation, what they would discard it, I'm not sure. I know eventually, I believe it goes on a barge somewhere in Virginia.
But it goes from Roosevelt Island on a truck or barge?
On a truck, and then
I see.
eventually what they do.
I see.
Obviously, back in the day, we had incinerators, we had the dump, and whatever, you know, they don't have a place like that. Listen, I mean, you could just, so now it just costs you more money to get rid of garbage, bring it through. That's, I don't know. Incinerators are dirty, you know, things like that, so now they get rid of them, and now you pay more because you've garbage through.
Is the recycling separated?
You should, the bike,
How would that work? Like, you would truck that out, or how does that work on the island?
okay, so you've seen all the containers out there? There's different containers that are plastic, metal, glass. So you're supposed to store plastic, metal, glass. You put it in your very, you know, this, you put it in your building, right?
I don't know where it goes, but it doesn't go down the trash chute.
Correct. You should.
You guys don't get noticed.
I'm gonna watch it. You enable it, I'm gonna check, see if anything comes back. No, but in all seriousness, like you would discard your plastic, metal, glass, so what happens, the porters in the building are supposed to bring it down, and they're supposed to put it into, but now when I run the system and you look at, it's just, to me, human nature. I tell you, you can't, don't do this. Really, who's watching me throw a bottle down there or something like that. But in a perfect world, if everybody did what they're supposed to do, be allowed.
You know.
Or throw down stuff that, excuse me?
You got this, you know.
You know what's funny? When we have cleanouts and things in New York, Brown, we look on the old magazines and stuff like that. You get human people, you can't. If I tell you, you might use your head and you see the inside diameter of that pipe is like 18 inches. So you know if you can't get something in there, you're gonna say, I would. Maybe I'll bring it down to the border or this spot or something. It shouldn't go into that. But people don't think, and that's just. It's amazing we don't have more problems. That's, I'm always fascinated by that. For what we do in Mariana, like, right? Well, I mean, you know, for what we pull out, the things. When there's a problem, what we call jams or blockages, then we have to, and I will show you that, like how we get rid of things that are blocking the transport pipe so we can't run the system. But in a perfect world,
Who makes the equipment? Do you know what the name of the company or
This
which country?
he's, I believe, a Swedish.
Yeah.
We used to have both, hop. America. Better than this.
So there,
You know, I don't know, you know, things are better, right? I mean, I have a refrigerator 30-something years ago, an old school refrigerator that I use, like my other one's, my 10 years, I'm done with it, right? Or washing machines and dryers, right? When they were made good, they're Europe.
Is there any chance they might make, might build systems like this in the rest of New York or no?
Excuse me?
Is there any chance they might build systems like this in the rest of New York or no?
Can you repeat the question?
She said, is there any way that they could build a place like this in New York? And like,
Oh,
you had,
my name's Pamela. I
Pamela.
work at Open House New York.
Pamela.
The reason we're here is because NYCHA is piloting this on the polo grounds, learning from Roosevelt Island to deploy in other NYCHA developments. So it's a big thing for the city to actually be more efficient and kind of community-minded with the way the trash is collected.
I agree. But there was one woman that she was an architect. Like structurally, like to me, I'm not a spokesperson for this design, but I think it's pretty efficient. You know, I would promote this type of thing, but it's like structurally, I mean, I think they should be more already put. You know, it's like when you get through the bureaucracy, where you put them, and you saw them. Like NYCHA, I would love to know. I'm dying to see how this thing.
It's at the polo grounds. I'm sorry, you have a question on the other side.
Oh, so how far, this is the Department of Sanitation,
Right, we're
right?
saying, correct.
So how far into the building does the Department of Sanitation's responsibilities go? And how often do you have cleanouts in the chute? Like, so I assume some of the garbage travels almost, a couple miles actually from one end of the island to the
Yeah,
other, right?
probably.
So if you have a jam somewhere, how do you get to it?
Good question. So two good questions. And I'll bring these upstairs. We can tell upstairs when you're operating the machinery. I can tell, like if I have a problem at 40 River Road, which is the first, or your building, River Place. So for argument's sake, G5 is jammed up. We go by different alphabets of the building. So G5 is clogged. I would look, as the operator, you're looking at the gauge, everything's running fine. All of a sudden your gauge is, it's like anything else, oh boy, something's not right over there. And I can say, okay, everything else is good before that. I can open what we call the aerial, and I'll explain all that to you later. So I can tell, okay, this is good, oh, okay, we have a problem. You just, you look and you use your judgment and say, oh, we have a problem from manhole number 8, let's say. So we know G is responsible, we know manhole number 8 is responsible for G5, so we know we get access over there. Then it's almost like, where could it be? From here to the next access. You hope when you open up the access panel, because we have underground, because this pipe only goes above over here, and then everything else is underground. So then we have access panel manholes. So then we can figure out where we deemed that problem. You use your head, you paid to use your head a little bit. Well, I do, and then you try to figure out where you think the problem is, and then once we know where the problem is, depending on where it's jammed or what's jammed or how far in, then that's a whole different ballgame. Then we use a machine to go in there and figure out. There's different. I'll show you all that upstairs. There's a routing machine. It's a plumbing tool basically.
Like
with an auger rod, a 10-foot auger rod. But you're talking about something that's not. That machine that we use, because they have never come up with, or I have never seen anything that you could use to clear a jam other than that machine. Because there's nothing, that machine is really for a snake out on a line that's not 100 some feet in like we're going and going through bends. So those auger rods that are like $90 a pop now, because steel has gone up. They're like 40 something when I started 16 years. They're like 90. You bend them in a few, you can run 10 of them and bang them out because they get old. Once they lose the tensile strength because they move, it's done. So I mean, it's a great question. So that's how we can dictate where our problem is from, whether we have a problem from right here, the manhole here to B1, or we think it's from River Cross or Island House or what have you. What was the other question?
So it sounds like the Department of Sanitation then is responsible for the transverse tubes between here and whatever buildings.
Correct.
But how far into the building does your responsibility?
Good question. We're responsible, we always say, from the valve down. This is a state-run facility, REOC, Roosevelt Island Operating Corporation. You're an island member too, you live in that?
No,
Or you just
I
work on
work
different?
with the organization that's hosting this.
Okay, so REOC is the Roosevelt Island Operating Corporation. They are a state-run facility. We're city employees. I work for Department of Sanitation, Marianne. Mo works for we work for sanitation. We're titles of stationary engineer. We're not sandmen, garbage men, but we work for the department. I'm a civilian employee for the Department of Sanitation. I work for the city. But everything outside of this place is state-run. But the buildings that you're talking about that we're responsible for those valve rooms, we're responsible from the valve where the garbage goes down. Like if you had a problem up in your chute, he's not gonna go up there and help the porter push the thing down. We're technically, you get it down to the valve and then it's all on us. So everything in that valve room, we're responsible for. The cylinder, it's a lot of equipment. You can see the rolling, I mean, we're responsible for a lot of stuff in the valve rooms, compressors, the equipment. The thing I love about the old equipment, you're more hands-on with this. I don't even know how to talk, like, we don't even boil things like that. We're more hands-on. It just runs. We try to figure some stuff. No, it just really, I'm not joking, I'm trying to be funny.
No, but I get it.
It is.
No, it's like cars these
exactly.
days, right?
It's, right, I don't need to go on a rant. They gave off a lot more heat and stuff that they would. You want to drive a Prius or do you want to drive a 70 Chevelle? I don't know. I'll take a 70 Chevelle and burn everybody and destroy everybody with the exhaust. Not one.
That was the end of my question.
That was it.
Thank you, that was a great answer.
Which one do you like, right? It's inefficient, but it doesn't, to me, it don't work. That's just
So there are, I mean, I live on the island also, so there are times when the system can be out for like 2 to 3 weeks.
It should never be out that long. When have you had that?
Oh, it's often.
Where do you work? I mean, where do you live?
I live in Riverwalk, Southtown.
Never had a system down that long. But,
All right, so, and,
no, but I mean,
She nodded her head too.
yeah, no,
that long? Oh, you know what?
I'm in a house now.
You're an island house? Okay, what about we? Yes, we had about
So-
one valve because they had it. For the most part, the jams are like a 2 or 3
so-
a day until we get rid of it.
and the answer you usually get from REAC is that something is stuck in the valves.
But it's
And
true.
that they have to call somebody from Spain.
They only come twice a year. Yes, they'll give, yeah, but
Like there's one expert in Spain that comes and goes, because he's small and
it's
can
not
get,
even that, yeah.
and he can,
No, that's all
and he-
fabricated nonsense.
that's what REAC says.
Yeah, they're gonna tell you that. No. For the most part, no. If there's a problem, I'm not defending us. You can't help, or we can't help when anybody throws down.
Yeah.
So I'll call, you work at Southtown?
I live in
Live in
Southtown.
Southtown. Perfect example. 9 out of 10 times, way more than that. What building do you live in Southtown? If you mind me asking?
425.
425. So
Building.
you are L5, L4, L3. Right, you're L3. You guys aren't good. No, I'm being dead honest with you. The new valve, 480 Main Street, throws down debris. The people that live there throw down whoever, stuff that doesn't belong in the pipe. So he has to go out there and waste his time all the time pulling out stuff that shouldn't belong in the pipe. So what happens is, if there is a blockage, a lot of times it's in urban America East with the valves before that, right? Those
Yeah.
buildings over there, for whatever reason. So what happens is we have a problem in the pipe. Guess what? You can't put your garbage down there because we have a problem in the pipe that affects from here all the way down there.
From another
So a lot of times when I call Southtown, unfortunately, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the other people. And then, yes, but you should never, listen, I'll put my life on the line. Never was down for 3 weeks. River Cross, we had a problem with one of the valves because they couldn't get to it. The Spaniards who come here from twice a year because of COVID. So we were 2 years behind, so we had a lot of water and things like that would be remedied. Because eventually you get the wear and tear in the pipe. But if you're ever down for 2 or 3 weeks, I'm retiring in 5 months, let me know, I'll come back and talk to you. Because you should never be down that long.
So what are some of the like really crazy things you found in the pipes that shouldn't be there? I mean, I was told there were bed frames in there.
Yeah, people will throw, for what people, I mean, like I said, it's like human, like for you to, for anybody to waste their time to try to get something in an 18-inch diameter to try to force something in, to me, why would you bother doing that?
Go to Nelson Molina's Treasures in the Trash Museum. He collects all the stuff. The DS11 project.
You get bed frames and stuff. I mean, a lot of things could be. If we have water coming back, so we have a hole in the pipe, and you have a lot of water coming back, and then people throw down a lot of bags of clothes and stuff like that. Now the water with that, it's like a paper mache. That could be a thing. But I mean, bed frames and things of that nature, and TVs and small TVs and things like that, and bed springs, and for the effort that people will try to get into that pipe, to me, it makes no sense.
Well, we appreciate the work you do.
No, but you know, person, you can't control everybody what they throw in there. So, I mean, unfortunately, it's just human nature. Like I said, you know, don't do that.
Was there a lightning strike here a couple of weeks ago that shut it down?
Boy, he knows everything. He's on the ball. You know more than I. That was the one with Willie. That was all that. Oh yeah, there was like some kind of lightning strike. They had to reset the. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
No, but that's true. It
It's
did
true,
happen.
but no, I don't know what
It
happened.
was a crazy story, yeah.
What happened, Willie? Could you get the computer going? Yeah. Yeah, I guess it happened so fast, but we're fine. No, we don't. Sandy, I was here for Sandy. I thought stuff would come in. Only a few valve rooms got messed up. Every equipment, nothing came down. Yeah, this system is. Listen, don't get paid. I mean, I work with. I'm not getting paid extra. This system is great if you have the structure, the space, the feasibility. It's awesome.
I'm going to give a little bit of context.
Oh, please.
The housing developments were done by Josep Luis Sert, who is this famous Spanish architect planner. He planned Barcelona. So that's why it's here, because he knew of the system and the housing developments in Europe. And so he was commissioned by the States Urban Development Corporation to do the housing. The master plan was done by Philip Johnson and his partner Brigitte, and that's why it's here. I just realized this. I was like, how
Yeah,
did
no,
it
please.
come?
Yeah, no,
But
no.
that's why you call him the Spanish company, because it's a cert. He did the library.
And that's what we call it, right?
Yeah.
We call it. They run, I think, the operation in Spain. We used to have the Swedes, where we used to, the
Yeah.
Swedish guys used to come here through NVAC Spain, and then they're all like private contractors, this side, things like that.
Yeah.
But twice a year, NVAC Spain, NVAC Sweden, now with the NVAC Spain, they come here, they have the contract or whatever. NVAC, they call it NVAC. We're AVAC, Board of Back in the system. They're NVAC, I forget what their acronym is. Europe, something from that village. But you're right, correct. And they'll be here in October, in early November, the Spaniards will come. What they do is they'll come twice a year, and they'll skate. And the guy's a little smaller than me, he's stocky. And he gets on a skateboard, but not a skateboard that you're used to, but it moves, and he can get in there, and he goes through on a skateboard in the pipe. I'm trying. And he goes in the pipe, and I'll show you. You see outside. You see the big pipe? Well, the transport pipe over there, and I'll show you. Walk upstairs. He goes into there, and pending where he'll skate, what we call skate through. So we can dictate all around. We can figure out. I can use my head and say, oh, we got water coming back from. You try to isolate, so we can tell them they go from here. But if they skate the whole block, there you go, right? We call the skateboard right. So the gentleman will go on this, and he'll skate through, and then we open up the other manholes, and then they have the fresh air. You don't want to kill the guy. That's on them. And the guy will go into this pipe and well. So then you can find out how porous the pipe is. Twice a year they do that because you've got a lot of wear and tear in the pipe. Like in Disney, you're not going to have the stuff that they throw down here in Disney. You're gonna have a lot but they will have wear and tear in their pipes with sugary drinks, believe it or not, and stuff like that. That'll wear and tear on there. But nothing like the abrasion that we have. That's why it's a lot of little things to this. We try to run it where we don't try like maximum speed where you have more wear and tear on that pipe where it becomes porous and stuff like that. Because you do have, as you know, a lot of the pipe is underneath the buildings. So how do you think it's like I don't even want to know how they would do some of this stuff, like if it ever was a problem, like the rock from over there where they would have the sections of the pipe. I don't know how they do it, but this is where the gentleman goes on.
And they tie the octagon into the system too?
Octagon is, yes, Octagon's very heavy. You look at Octagon?
No.
Octagon's over here, that's too big. Yeah, they're pretty, they're heavy on a lot of people said we get a lot of golf back there.
They probably just have to tie into where the hospital was, right? So they just kind of like, because the hospital was already there, so that either connecting to it probably wasn't so difficult.
I mean, that's designed.
It's not a home run, new home run.
No, the Octagon is it's only two buildings. There's 3 different sections here, right? There's the Octagon, Section 1, then where you live. So it's everything from Manhattan Park to the end over there. And then Section 2 is Octagon, and then the east side is all by itself. So we break it down like that. There's two different transport pipes, so there's two different, it's one whole system, but they're broken up to the west side where you live and the east side. Where you live, south.
Yeah.
So you're on the east and you're on the west side.
So a couple of years ago, I think there was going to be a pilot project to be able to have recyclables. Did anything ever happen with that?
No, because they were trying to, talking about, I guess, because like I was thinking, they do that, they have that one, I'm not sure. So they have where, I guess, the plastic metal, the cardboard, all that stuff would be separate from the regular garbage. That would, you would have to retrofit this whole thing. I wouldn't even know how you would start doing that, or how they would do that. So in the interim, they do what they've been doing for years. They supposed to put the plastic metal glass, cardboard, etc. in the buildings, like where you live. Now where you live, Southtown, they don't use, you guys don't, I don't believe have a place where you can discard garbage. Where porters, like where you live, where they come in.
Well, you
here.
see, they put out plastic bags.
Yeah, you guys have a whole different setup there,
Yeah.
but it's whatever, that's neither here nor there. But you're separate from using our lot. You guys aren't allowed.
Right, so.
I just wanted to add a little more context.
Please.
Roosevelt Island used to be called Welfare Island, and the buildings built in the 70s were like Mitchell-Lama buildings, and so there was like a government oversight to it.
It was all state-owned.
Yeah, and so I think that's also part of why it was put in this way. Yeah.
And why they installed a system like this?
I mean, not the only reason, but.
No.
Yeah.
I think it was CERT.
I never heard of it.
Stewart owns tons of projects, there's Mitchell-Lama all over, but there's no other CERT housing
Right,
in
but
the
it
city.
was lots of its own different developments, that would be a different
Interesting.
story, so that's part of it.
Hudson Yards was looking to do something like that. You heard that one?
Say that again?
Hudson Yards?
Familiar with it?
Yeah.
No affordable housing there.
No, I don't think so, no, but I think they were looking to do a system like this.
I see.
Right, something like that.
Yes.
We're in Jersey too. But, that's, you're right, I don't know enough about it, you know. But, you know, I'm a big, proponent, I'm sure you are too, right? I mean, it's nice, you don't have the eyesore of the garbage. To me, I think it's a lot.
What is the maximum length that one of these systems could run, like if you were to install it in larger parts of the city?
Well, I guess it depends on how, like, if you had a distance from like 4 or 5 miles, I guess you need more exhaust systems, because this is basically creating a vacuum. This is creating a vacuum. So the further you go down, the more volume of air you would need. So, you know, I don't know if you added like another, let's say 4 miles, then you know, make believe you might need a different setup. You might need more exhaust and more power just to get.
What's the longest run of the pipes here?
Well, the whole pipe, it all extends. There's no like sections off.
The length from, the furthest from here, like to build on Jacob's question. Like what's the longest run here, the longest length of pipes? Do you know?
Well, number one, the whole pipe is from here it's all continuously goes to Southtown.
To the tram, just
To the tram, let's just say, right? And on both sides. So there's it dead ends over by, pretty much, like the gentleman said, the tram on the east side. On the west side, it's a little before that, and then it stops.
Yeah, do you just know the distance?
We just, I would say, I mean, if you walk down there, let's say 1.5 miles,
Okay,
just give or take.
that's fine.
There's one branch.
We have, excuse me.
There's one branch.
We have two different branches actually. West side and the east side. So I'll show you upstairs. So you have the garbage running back on two different sections. But these exhausted turbines control for both sides, east and west.
Do you have a valve that chooses one at a time or it sucks the whole
Good
system?
question. On the west, on the like I was exactly. Good question. There's a section valve because the west is broken into two sections: the octagon, section 2, and section 1 from Manhattan off down to West Beach Place building over there. East side is just one whole section. No, it's not broken up into two different parts. It's just from here past the train itself.
Do you know what it costs to operate on an annual basis?
These I know for a fact. I mean, I don't the energy management and stuff like that. I really don't. I mean, no, but I know that they found that these ones, because we have the variable frequency drive and stuff like that. These are great on soft start on startup. The other ones, they were just better, but they were exuberant. I mean, the starting amperage was like 700-800, and then the running amperage was 200-300. Now we have the VFD. So economically and all that good stuff, you will save money with these. they're just, to me, not as powerful, and I know that because I'm not stupid, and I know 350 horsepower compared to what these are, just common sense.
So I'm just comparing the cost.
No,
If
I'm
it-
just saying, you know,
If it was
as
like
far
just
as-
like regular garbage pickup as opposed
That's
to.
a great question, that's a great
Yeah.
question. I would, you know, I don't know if it's like monetarily, it's a good, boy, I wonder what, yeah, that's a great question, because I wonder if that's as much this place here, like a saving money thing. I really don't. You know, if you think about the trucks coming back and forth and things like
Yeah.
that, and how much with the manpower and things like that, opposed to just operating it.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, that's a great, I would love to
I'll
know
ask,
myself.
I'll have to ask.
I swear to God, I'd like to ask my book, because I don't even think I don't know who
But
can answer that.
I think the
Because I don't
other
know
factor
how you would
is
equate
the
that.
rats. Like, this is
Oh,
a
yeah.
night shift thing. Like, you need to get the trash into a central location where it's protected. So it's not, I mean, cost has all these different dimensions
Yeah.
to it, right? So I'm sure that's one of the reasons NYCHA is piloting this for the health and safety factor.
Right.
Yeah, the only problem, I mean, is I really cannot, I would love to see where they set up and how they are able to, like, if you have a problem over there or anywhere where you were reestablished like this, if you have a problem, like the gentleman said, we're down for a week, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Never that long, but a few days, no, don't say, there's a clog, there's a blockage, okay? How are they going to tell the people over there not to throw their, we know how we can communicate and tell this gentleman, the porters are supposed to tell you, those people, you know, they'll put a lock on their chute, they're supposed to, so you know, okay, I can. You're gonna be able to do that with all the buildings there and the people and stuff like that, I don't know how they're,
It's
you know.
really fascinating.
I would love to know, because I remember, the people were great, and they all had their questions like anybody else, the polo grounds, they all came here.
Yeah.
The people, and some of them, like anywhere else, they're interested in, there are people like, you know, why bother, it's like, change, let's keep it the way it is, you know? And they had questions and stuff like that, like anybody else, right?
Can I ask you guys, what do you do when it doesn't work?
They
They
tie it.
complain, and we don't answer the phone.
They tie a big 20-pound trash bag to the chute.
Oh, is
And
that
then what do you do with your trash?
I put my trash, it's
In the room.
trash, there's like a trash room, and so it's in the room right next to the chute, and then the porters come and get it the way they do the
Got it.
recycling.
Well, that's what they do with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because we had other problems, and one of the other buildings that they were not locking the chutes, like you know, and they would just put wire ties, stuff like that, people would come to them and see that, and put my stuff in. We can't control that, that's the buildings, you know?
No rush, just want to make sure we finish around on time because some people have tours after this.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, no,
Too many questions.
no, ask away, I mean, but this, in essence,
Yeah, let's just.
you need this, if you don't have this, the heart of the operation, you're not running. Really, the heart of the operation is the compressor, really.
Did you want to show us upstairs?
So before I bring you upstairs, then I will show you where the operation. So basically, this chamber, east, east, west. That transport pipe, like I was saying, is broken up into 2 different sections. This is under a vacuum, so it's vacuum sealed. So all the garbage, the heavy garbage, goes into this 45 cubic yard container. We keep them in there for about 4 days. The compactors used to go off on pressure, either here or there, so we would know when to change the container. Now we use every 4 days because it comes out to about, it's not an exact science. We don't like the containers too, so 9, 10, 11, 12, could be 15, we see 18, 19 tons. That's too heavy for the garbage to take. But either way, so it's broken up into 2 different sections, the east and west, and then you have two transport pipes. There is a section of pipe out there where that is the section, that is the diameter, the inside diameter of where the pipe, what you're putting in there. So if you know something's not gonna fit like this, why bother? That's where we have problems with people. It's like anywhere else, anywhere you go, human nature.
Can a volunteer meter? Thanks, Jacob.
So that as far as that goes. But upstairs where is the control room where we operate the valves, and then I'll show you all that stuff. And I'll even put the system on, you can see some of the garbage coming back and stuff like that. There's a cycle, yeah. So, wait for this.
No rats on Roosevelt Island.
And I don't know if that's true.
It's insanely,
Yes
you
or
see
no,
like the
true?
garbage like
Yeah.
hanging out like this? They used to, at times, we don't have as many containers, we used to have 10 of these.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't get them out fast enough.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can have them an hour, like a week or two. And then when it's fermented and stuff like that, I swear.
No rats.
Never see rats. Only time we had rats here, it was the only problem. And man, the sanitation, they eradicated them. It was done. But the rats here, I seen one time in the what happened was this. They got disturbed. They were doing, you live on the island, remember when they
It
were
was
doing
construction.
the new construction with these fences on the seawall over here? They must have broke ground, things like that, and we started having rats here. They were here for about 5 or 6 months, and then boom, they were done. They moved on to the next. We do not, trust me.
No,
You
there are
did not
rats.
get rats.
No rats.
No, no, there are rats.
I'm
There are rats.
insanely
Yeah, I
shocked.
mean, they must
like-
come
I
in
mean,
through the
Both rats,
subway
rats,
and
rats.
I mean,
the.
less than in other parts, but
Yeah, this place, yes, it's there, it stinks. There's no rats here.
That's why I asked.
You will not see a rat here. That's the only time we had a rat. I've been 16 years, and then they like I said, they killed them all. We got some big ones. I wasn't that happy. I'm walking, and antiquated, which probably is a lot of the parts of, but it's why that Allen Bradley control board. That actually, the only thing this we got you. Operate the valves. With the new system, there's 3 modes of operation. You can run it automatic, just press the button and it runs by itself. Through the computer, or you can run it through this system too. It's different methods of how the garbage is going to come back. In essence, it all does the same thing. It's just different ways of. In a perfect world, but it's not perfect anymore because the section valve doesn't. No, it does it automatically. So you can't just press the button and it automatically runs. Which means even if you press the button and it automatically runs what you're doing, you still got to sit up here anyway and watch the gauges so you can dictate if there's any problems. This is actually a small little layout map. So where is this gentleman? And the other girl from Roosevelt? There you go, honey. You're on our house, huh?
Yeah.
So you're somewhere over here.
Yeah.
All right. So there's like a small little, nice what they did here. So now you can see like where the valve rooms actually are, and there it comes back. So I can't run the system yet until this builds up the air. And I'm going to shut the door, chain the door, lock it, and then I will run these for you. So just give me a second. I can operate all the valves, east and west in here. What happened with the old system was that was the east. We used to have another one, same thing, compatible just like that on this side. So we're controlled. The good thing about this new system is that you could actually operate both sides, not so much at the same time. Yes, pretty much the same time. All you have to do is just cross over and shut it. 2 valves, a dust filter, so I go from the east and west, opposed to the old days where you had to shut the whole thing down and start it up. This is a lot more easy.
And that came with the new exhausters, or that was a separate installation?
This installation was involved with the new exhausters. They left that old one there because what they tried to do was take that out, and they didn't realize that this intertwines and it goes in. For some reason, if you took that out, the electric goes into here too. So it goes, the cross is into our Bradley control board. So as antiquated as this is, and old look and all that, this actually is moves the containers. So this whole board, we can move the containers east and west. They're on jacks, so we line them up over on these rollers to send them out. So we're responsible. The meat and potatoes, obviously, are the garbage coming back, but then everything like that, the gearboxes and the pumps and all that stuff, that's our responsibility. But this whole thing, this Bradley control board, just controls the placement of the containers in essence. Okay?
I know we used to have a pneumatic mail delivery system until the 50s. Do you know if the original, this system was tied in or inspired by that at all? No idea.
I don't know.
It's like your lollipop at the bank.
There you go. It's interesting to know, but I really don't know. A lot of history behind a lot of things that. So, in essence, here's the 4 exhaust. So, what we do is I'm going to run this through the computer. So, it's like anything else, I'm just starting this up right now. So, I'm starting exhauster 1, so we use 3 exhausters. Why 3? And sometimes you need 4, because 3 is right now the optimum amount of exhausters that we need to get the garbage from point A to point B. Could we use 4? Yes, we use 4, and when we had 6, we used 6 if there was a jam, if there was a problem, where we needed that many exhausters. But there are certain things that go into that pipe that don't matter how many exhausters you have, you're never gonna get it back, and you physically have to go in there to remove it.
Is it sucking from the buildings now? Are the gates?
I'm gonna show you right now. So here you go, you got the one exhaust, you see it running over there? That's in green. And all you do is just press this here. So we'll use 1, 2, and 3, for argument's sake.
This is the most powerful man I've ever seen.
All right, now we're gonna run, we got 2 sides, east and west. So here is the dust filters, which is important. They're over there, I'll show you them. The heavy garbage all gets accumulated into, I'll show you from here, but I'll show you there. The vortex, the heavy stuff goes down. It's actually a nice illustration. Goes into the compactor. The lighter stuff, the dust filters, will take all the particles and trap it. So nothing goes down into the suction side of that. You don't want anything going down into those turbines. It's moving pretty fast. You don't want any debris or anything like that. So the dust filters do their job, and then all the excess air, like a boiler, you would have a stack. We have a plenum chamber. All the things, everything that's coming out of there is just air. Something's got to get just air. No non-condensable gas, nothing like that. Just air. All right. So you got the 3 exhausters. Right now we run the dust filters to get our suction. Okay. And we have a main valve. This main valve is downstairs underneath right by the exhausters. If you don't open that, obviously you're not going to grab it and get any suction. Those turbines are just dead spinning right now, but they're not doing anything because I have to open up this valve where it all goes through the pipe, and now we will create our vacuum. And
Now that we can see
so section
anything that
1,
everyone
we were
likes.
saying before, 3 sections. Section 1, you got section 1. Section 2 is octagon, and east side over here is section 3, they call it, but there is really no section. There's not a valve that separates it, it's just one whole slide. So now, we're gonna run B1, which is right here. Not a problem. All right, you see this? This green light, now I know that valve is open, okay? Now I get the closing. So I can visualize, here it goes. If you wanna see it,
Wow, that was fast.
Magic. Get that tip jar. Have a bait. It really is.
Do the building collection chutes close or lock while it's being sucked, or can people still throw in while you're collecting?
I think we have nothing to do with that.
You're in the building now, you hear the
You can hear it, but it depends who you There's an inspection class down there. You can see the golf. Not needed, but there's a squirrel cage up there that's supposed to spin and trap all the particles, but it gets trapped anyway in the dust filters, because you want to trap that. The heavy stuff comes down here. In the back over there, I can show you the door in there, and it goes into this, where this is attached to, and then we fill these up and then we take them out and we roll them out. When they're every 4 days. That's
Guess
how.
I'm trying to envision how the garbage moves go into this little.
This thing is open, and this is
Right? It's like in this chamber. You're like, go in there.
yeah. Come back there.
I'll open up the other side.
All the way in the back, because this
Oh, this smells
people they'll be able to see everything.
Oh, no. Oops,
Oh,
sorry.
no, sorry, I thought you were done.
Yeah, I'll get that before. But that's where, real quick, that's where the garbage is coming down, and the chain and the container, that 45 cubic yard, is ahead of that. Is it ahead of that? Before that, and that's where the garbage is going in. See all that nice muckety muck?